Middle Park has been the home of South Melbourne since the inaugural season of the National Soccer League in 1977. This ideal venue for soccer once squeezed over 17,500 people in, way back in 1978 when England striker Malcolm McDonald guested for South Melbourne. The visit of Adelaide City today, combined with a beautiful Melbourne afternoon, should ensure another bumper crowd at Middle Park. 7 Socceroos in a lineup crammed with experience and ability, including 4 players involved recently against Argentina. Paul Wade, after a successful career in midfield, will lead the side from the centre of defence today, a position he filled for the latter part of last season. And this means that Jason Polak, who is a substitute in the World Cup qualifiers, will start most of South Melbourne's attacks from the centre of midfield. No shortages of internationals in Adelaide City's ranks either, with Milan Ivanovic arguably Australia's best player over the 2 legs against Argentina. The 32-year-old is continuing the fall that saw him crowned NSL Player of the Year back in 1991. Carl Veart wasted no time in staking his claim for a starting place in future Socceroo encounters, scoring 2 goals in midweek to help secure City's first point of the season. And on paper at least, Australia's 2 strongest sides given the number of Socceroos on show here today. 13 in all, 7 for South Melbourne and 6 for Adelaide City. Not all involved in the recent games against Argentina, of course, but certainly in early qualifiers or build-up games throughout the World Cup campaign. And the irony is that they meet in a bottom-of-the-table clash, totally unfamiliar territory for both clubs. But a loss for either side today will make that task of climbing up the ladder even harder. Early pressure from South Melbourne has resulted in a goal kick. Francis Awaritefe, one of the 7 South Melbourne players. He actually made his Socceroo debut today, earlier on in this season. Wade, underneath it was Muscat though. Boutsianis looking to move it with Trimboli. Tony Vidmar, good turn inside. Pressure from Boutsianis resulted in a free kick. Paul Shillabeer back in action after a knee operation in the off-season. That's well played. Goutzioulis to Hasler. Not many options for him going forward, and Mori was in too quick for Goutzioulis there. Jason Polak to take this free kick. Awaritefe has gone forward. Trimboli's there also. He looks wide for Hasler, and Hasler almost got him behind his man there, Lozanovski. He had to give away the free kick. Adelaide City playing with a strong wind behind them. As you can see by the distance Zabica got with that kick. There's Reda. Talladira. Tony Vidmar on the ball to Mori. Playing wide on the left today, Damian Mori. Certainly the right-hand side is more familiar to him, but I'm sure that won't be a major problem for him. Ivanovic in space. To Tobin. Alex Tobin, the defence pushing out. He was looking for Damian Mori. Both sides still finding their feet in these early stages. Vidmar and Awaritefe. Free kick given. This time it's to Adelaide City for the foul on Awaritefe, and you can hear from the crowd noises that was not a popular decision. Shillabeer going forward, but Durakovic there in front of him. Matic standing to watch today's game. He has said this will be his last season in charge of Adelaide City. It will be interesting to see if that is the case at the end of the season. Awaritefe wrestling there. Tobin into good for him. Lozanovski got Veart outside him. Durakovic over very quickly to close Veart down. He won't want to give him any room at all. And he closed him down too quickly because that's a free kick to Adelaide City. Carl Veart scored 2 marvellous goals and made a third with a penalty in the midweek game for Adelaide City. He's come back extremely fired up. Lozanovski with the kick, away from Awaritefe. Cleared completely by Trimboli. Ivanovic, the direct route. Now a chance for Jason Polak to settle things down. He's got Hasler outside him. Run down the line from Tasios. Tasios, good move inside. Still Tasios, but Michael Reda taking over. And now Adelaide City come forward with Vidmar. Still Tony Vidmar. Oh, it's a good ball inside. And this is dangerous for South Melbourne. And the shot in the end didn't trouble the goal of Anastasiadis. Michael Reda it was who had the final effort at goal. Play on. Veart. And Muscat. That's brilliant play from Kevin Muscat. Not only has he robbed Veart, he's set up an attack for South Melbourne, and he continues to go forward, Muscat. The final pass from Trimboli wasn't quite where he wanted it. And now here's Trimboli again. And what a good challenge from Tobin. And it's a corner for South Melbourne. Paul Trimboli in that familiar position just behind the main strike force in Awaritefe. And that's where he does most of his damage, with those late runs into the box. Boutsianis takes it, curling away. Polak, the shot, well blocked. Muscat now with the shot. Not a bad effort either, straight at Zabica, but it was dipping viciously. And Zabica had to take 2 attempts to get hold of that ball there. Vidmar, good play from him. Tried to switch. It was an ambitious ball to Lozanovski. And Hasler did well to read it. And he's gone down under the challenge from Reda. And here's a shot from Muscat, hit with real venom and dipped as well. And Zabica took 2 attempts. And here's Awaritefe now with a shot across the goal. And just cleared by Shillabeer. But a great effort from Awaritefe from a tight angle. He really had to go by himself then because there was no option for him in the centre of the goal. Early tests for Robbie Zabica. Not cleared properly by Adelaide. Well, Zabica was tested in the cauldron of the River Plate Stadium. And he's under more pressure today at Middle Park from South Melbourne. Trimboli. Oh, that's a brilliant turn, and he's been brought down. And South Melbourne continued to really siege the Adelaide City goal. Quickly taken. Trimboli. Across the goal! And Awaritefe just couldn't get on the end of it. And Tony Vidmar has a chance to clear. It's a goal kick in the end, but it was clever thinking from Boutsianis with the free kick. Zabica having to use all his experience to calm his defence because they've been under so much pressure in the last few minutes. Talladira. Vidmar for Mori. Shooting the ball well under pressure from Wade. Reda now. Some good tackles going in the centre of midfield. And on this occasion it was Kevin Muscat who didn't keep within the rules of the game, according to Richard Lorenz. Adelaide City have a free kick. Vidmar over the ball. Veart, Shillabeer, Reda on the far post, and that's where it's come across. Shillabeer misses it, and Wade doesn't. And Tasios, good play from him. Trimboli, back to Tasios. Oh, one well by Steve Tasios after giving it away. And now Trimboli has a chance to open things up. Goutzioulis, Hasler in an acre of room down the left-hand side. Veart comes across. The early ball from Gary Hasler. Tasios. Cleared away from Adelaide City. Polak, Trimboli. This is brilliant from South Melbourne. Polak going through. And again, just a long clearance from Adelaide City just to momentarily relieve the pressure. And Awaritefe, and Zabica's right out of his goal. And that's well read from Robbie Zabica. And a clever kick too. He didn't kick with all his strength in, Robbie Zabica, just plonked it in front of Carlo there, gave him an opportunity to at least control the ball instead of just having to flick it on with his header, which is always a hopeful tactic. But the ball has come back at him equally as quick for Boutsianis. That's another corner. Well, in the corresponding fixture last season, South Melbourne won the encounter 2-1 in a match played at Olympic Park. Boutsianis and Awaritefe were the scorers that day. And they've both had a promising start to this game. Boutsianis with the corner. Wade was coming flying in there, but he couldn't get on the end of it. And Muscat. And Vidmar takes over, and Mori's going through the centre, and this is where South Melbourne have to watch out because they're very quick on the break. And here's Damian Mori, and that's a great save, Anastasiadis. But a real rap on the knuckles for South Melbourne. And this was the speed of the break. Mori got in behind Durakovic and took the first time shot, and it was an outstretched arm from Anastasiadis which saved the day. And Wade able to start things again from the centre of defence. Hasler cuts inside Lozanovski well. And a great ball too to Goutzioulis. And now South Melbourne looking dangerous with Tasios. Good play, Steve Tasios. Not a bad effort either. After a good give and go with Francis Awaritefe. And Tasios scored his first goal of the season against West Adelaide during the week. And he almost got on the score sheet there with that 1-2 with Awaritefe. This is the build-up. Good first-time play there. And the final shot on his left foot just past Zabica's left-hand post. Trimboli, good through ball for Boutsianis. Shillabeer looks like he's there though. South Melbourne have the throw. Hasler. Not a bad ball to Boutsianis. Good ball across, Awaritefe's there. And it was Alex Tobin who somehow got a body part in the way of that cross to clear the ball away. Hasn't gone out though. Mori on the far side. Muscat in too aggressively on him. Boutsianis worried about his left knee, but he did whip in a marvellous cross then. And it was only good defending from Tobin that cleared the ball for Adelaide City. Awaritefe, well played, those long legs certainly giving him an advantage there. And Trimboli goes through and he's brought down. Reda helps him up on his feet. And there were too many black and white shirts around Jason Polak there. But he's won his team a free kick, and it's in a dangerous position for Adelaide. So much so that they've got 11 players behind the ball. That's the view from behind the goal. The wall still slightly disorganised. And Boutsianis scored a marvellous goal from a free kick during the week. You'd fancy him to take this free kick, though Tasios is over it as well. Good shot from Boutsianis. Zabica watched it carefully. Certainly his confidence would be up after that goal during the week. And he beat the wall, but it was straight at Zabica. Vidmar. Tasios covering back well. Now the cross comes in, but it's behind the goal. South Melbourne, I think, will rue some of the chances that they've missed in this first half, but they'll be looking forward to the second half with the win behind them. Just 5 minutes to go till the break. Lorenz happy that the free kick was in the right position. Ivanovic under pressure from Trimboli. This is good play from Paul Trimboli. He knows Ivanovic likes to dwell on the ball sometimes at the back. He is very hard to dispossess, though. Confusion there. Still not clear for South Melbourne, and Mori tries the shot. The final effort was of no worry to Dean Anastasiadis. Hasler looking for the short ball into Trimboli, and Lozanovski's got Veart outside him. Here's Carl Veart. Wade comes across. And that'll be a goal kick. Wade was the man shadowing Veart on that occasion. I'm sure the amount of training they've done together in recent weeks would be to Wade's advantage there. Talking about the absolute wealth that South Melbourne has in midfield, Mike Peterson has returned back from Malaysia, where he's been on loan. Apparently he is keen to continue his career in Malaysia. At this stage there's no sign of him appearing in a South Melbourne shirt, so it will be interesting to see how that develops over the next few weeks. Durakovic looking for the run from Boutsianis. Zabica came for it, but Ivanovic decided to do the job himself, and that's good control from Veart. Talladira. Reda using his body well. Vidmar's in space wide on that left. Goutzioulis has to come across to take him, but Tony Vidmar's gone round him. Chance to cross now. Oh, unlucky from Vidmar, but well played Durakovic. Trimboli puts Boutsianis free on the left. And Lozanovski there, too good for Tasios, who had to concede a free kick. And that's the half-time whistle at Middle Park. Certainly for the opening half an hour, it was really South Melbourne who poured on the pressure on the Adelaide City goal. Robbie Zabica was by far the busier of the two goalkeepers, though perhaps the best chance of the game came at the other end when Damian Mori had a one-on-one with Anastasiadis, and the long arm of Dean Anastasiadis stretching out and just pulling the ball in and saving what would have been a certain goal. Terrific first half's entertainment here at Middle Park. But at half-time, the score is South Melbourne 0, Adelaide City 0. Well, since the league started 17 seasons ago, this particular interstate trip hasn't been a very fruitful one for Adelaide City. In the 17 visits that they've made to Middle Park over the years, they've won on just 2 occasions, suffering 12 defeats in that time, with 3 draws, of course. And certainly the way South Melbourne played in the first 45 minutes, and Adelaide City facing the breeze this half, they could be up against it here this afternoon. Awaritefe already fouled for the first time in the second half. He's grateful to the referee for that decision. Feeling some frustration over the treatment he was dished out in the first half. I think it was partly due to the amount of pressure that was put on the Adelaide City defence that Awaritefe came in for some treatment. Cleared by Ivanovic. Really have started off where they left off. Trimboli through for Awaritefe. The flag stayed down. Wade. Awaritefe. Goutzioulis just holding things up. Awaritefe. That's good play from Francis Awaritefe. Muscat. Trimboli. Not a lot of options for him, except perhaps a hopeful cross. But he brings ball out well, and here's Hassler now in space. And it's a poor pass from Hassler, and Ivanovic comes forward for Adelaide City. Waiting for support that comes from Lozanovski. And Mori fouled in the back. Damian Mori takes the free kick quickly. He switched to the right-hand side of the attack. Lozanovski on the ball, though. Still Damian Mori. And the cross went over everybody, including the defence, giving Steve Tasios time to begin things again for South Melbourne. Muscat calmly just lobbing the ball over the head of Damian Mori to Durakovic. And Muscat comes forward again. Still Kevin Muscat. Trimboli's outside him. First time ball in from Trimboli. A good cross too, but well cleared by Tobin. There's certainly enough height in the Adelaide City defence to look after most crosses. Ivanovic, Tobin. Tony Vidmar's good on the ball and in the air, and he's good down the wing as well. This is a great run from Vidmar. Still Tony Vidmar. Veart inside him. The shot. And the final effort, not troubling Anastasiadis, but it was a marvellous run down the left-hand side. He'd beaten 3 other players at this stage, and now he had the shot on goal, and you could see him there. And Boutsianis has gone round Zabica, and that's no penalty according to Richard Lorenz. And Boutsianis has every right to feel aggrieved. And there was a one-on-one with Robbie Zabica. And Zabica again showing how good he is when he comes off his line. Goutzioulis. And the half seems to have continued where the first half left off. Muscat now. Too hard and fast for Awaritefe, and that'll go through for a goal kick. And give the defence a breather. Jim Pergolios knows how close that incident was. Zabica just having to tidy up his goal mouth. Into the wind. You can see that the distance he's gained is nowhere near as great as he did in the first half. This time the foul is by Carl Veart. Muscat, Polak, Awaritefe. South Melbourne begin their patient build-up again. That was Boutsianis who was held in the centre of the area, but not infringed upon according to the referee. Great tackle, comes back to Hasler. Tasios. Hasler again. Switch to Goutzioulis. Muscat in support. Chance to cross for Kevin Muscat. He's faced by Melta. Awaritefe under pressure, but taken over from Polak. Play on, says the referee. Good cross in. Still not clear, but now Melta finally relieves the pressure. And South Melbourne can start again with Goutzioulis. That's a great tackle indeed. Hasler. Awaritefe again, his shadow, and Alex Tobin right behind him. The back heel inside, Boutsianis, it's across, and there it is! The goal from Paul Trimboli. He had the easy job, but it was Boutsianis who made the chance. And they celebrate together as South Melbourne hit the front. Awaritefe, the brilliant back heel, surging forward with Boutsianis, and there was Trimboli with the easiest goal he will ever score in his life. Good vision from Awaritefe, and you can see there the shot from Boutsianis would have gone in, but the final touch to Paul Trimboli, and the goal will be credited to Trimboli, I'm sure. And the thumbs up from Boutsianis, because South Melbourne have hit the front. Melta takes the free kick quickly, and Adelaide City facing a continuation of that abominable run they have when they come to this ground. They've still got most of the second half to come back into this game. But at this stage they've been limited really to some breakaways. Damian Mori had probably the best chance of the game in the first half with that one-on-one. Trimboli, brilliant ball to Awaritefe, just too far for him. But marvellous peripheral vision from Paul Trimboli. Didn't need to look, he knew Awaritefe was running through. Just clipped that ball over the defence, but too far and into the arms of Zabica. Great control, Mori. Turns inside. Chance to spread play out on the right-hand side. Reda. Haven't seen many of the forward runs that have become his trademark so far this game, because it's South Melbourne coming forward now, and it's 3-on-3. And Tasios coming through, but Ivanovic remained calm and cool, and the timing was superb, and he sets things up for Adelaide City, and they come forward now. Lozanovski losing it to Hasler. Tasios still down in the Adelaide City 18-yard box. And Adelaide City doing some pressurising of their own. Melta's wide on the left. There's Sergio Melta, chance to shoot, across the goal, slid in, it's still not clear. And Mori couldn't control it with the half-hearted clearance. And that's a free kick to South Melbourne. And Damian Mori looks down because he's surprised at that decision, and it's Mehmet Durakovic, the man who set up the previous attack, who was running back to help his defence out. I think he took another blow to his forehead, which is not unusual for Mehmet Durakovic. Over a month ago, he received 15 stitches against Morwell Falcons here. I'm sure that hasn't quite healed 100%. We are used to seeing Durakovic play in a headband in recent weeks. He hasn't got the headband on today, but he's still concerned over that challenge from Damian Mori. Vidmar. Muscat clears. The referee has a word to Sergio Melta. That's the first booking of today. It's not the first one that Sergio Melta has received in almost 400 games in the NSL. I'm sure Zoran Matic will be disappointed that it came from comments spoken to the referee, though. Well, last season in the Premiership playoffs, these two sides met each other in the preliminary grand final, playing for a position in the grand finals. South Melbourne were so disappointing in the finals campaign last year. They were beaten by 3-1 that day against Adelaide City, who of course went on to lose in the final to Marconi. And South Melbourne were left to take a good close look at themselves and their performance at the end of the season after winning the minor premiership in outstanding fashion. But it's a fresh season for them here today. It's their third game of the season. And they're coming forward again with Boutsianis. This time the pass couldn't get past Shillabeer. Hasler with the throw. Into the corner for Trimboli. Spin of the ball working in the favour of Boutsianis. Cross comes in, Melta with the headed clearance, and it was a good header too because it found Goran Lozanovski. He goes past one. Inside is Reda. This is more promising from Adelaide. Sergio Melta out to Tony Vidmar. He'll have to be watched closely. He's had a great game down the left-hand side. Veart takes over. 3 blue shirts out there with him. And it still wasn't enough to stop Carl Veart winning a corner.
Doesn't matter. All right, let's go. Hey, just right for sure. Let's get them going, hey.
Talladira will take it. Anastasiadis organising things. Plenty of height in at the far post for Adelaide City. Alex Tobin. He goes near. It's well cleared by Wade. Here's Melta. Chance to shoot. Closed down. Talladira decides against the cross and goes inside to Michael Reda. And that's well pinched and almost set up a good attack after good defensive work Trimboli. He's certainly not known for that particular side of his game, though his intelligence wins in possession sometimes rather than any tackling ability. A long throw, only Damian Mori though really to aim for, and he hasn't got the height to cause the problems that some of his teammates may. big kick. Awaritefe has judged it right and it's fell in his favour. Alex Tobin misjudged that free kick. And Lozanovski, good turn from Awaritefe's curled it. And not a bad effort from Francis Awaritefe. We saw him score a goal very similar to that against Morwell in the pre-season tournament. But this time he turned his man well and tried to curl it with his left foot. But the wind not quite assisting him as much as he would have liked. Oh, good play. Durakovic forward. Tasios through the legs of Vidmar. Boutsianis, it's a marvellous ball. Steve Tasios. A brilliant play and a great save from Zabica. Another marvellous run from Tasios. We saw him in the first half on a couple of occasions, burst at the defenders. And this time he combined well with Boutsianis. Cut inside his man and tried the shot. Zabica had it covered, but he couldn't control it. And he had to concede the corner. And this will be dangerous for Adelaide City because Boutsianis can curl this in with his left foot. Zabica will have to watch it, and he does. Just manages a smile because he was anticipating the curl of the in-swinging corner so well. It's now playing wide on the right. Tasios. Too tight there. And Polak now will start again. Trimboli in space, and that's a great ball from Muscat. Can he keep it in? Well, he reached the ball, but couldn't quite get his foot around it enough to provide a dangerous cross. Paul Trimboli added to his 60 goals that he's already scored in the Coca-Cola Soccer League earlier this half with a tap-in from a yard out. They all count, though, as I'm sure he'll tell you after the game. So that's 61 goals for Trimboli in the National Soccer League in 182 games. It's almost exactly 1 goal every 3 games, which is a good strike rate, especially considering he's playing in a more midfield role these days. Vidmar over the ball for Adelaide City. And Zoran Matic makes his first change. He's bringing on a young striker in Brad Hassell for just his 2nd National League appearance. And Carlo Talladira, the central midfielder, goes off. Hassell will go straight up front. There's his first touch. Hassell, he had an opportunity to have a head at goal. That would have been an incredible beginning to the game for him if he'd managed to conjure up something there. Now it's Adelaide City's turn to provide some pressure on their opponent's goal. Anastasiadis hasn't had a lot to do for most of this game. It's not clear though there. Mori on the turn. And Polak clears. And there's Awaritefe and he's onside. Whether he'll keep it in though is another question, though he has managed to. No one in support in the centre for him. He will have to go on his own. Tasios, Awaritefe. And as he's hassling and harrowing away at the heels of Milan Ivanovic. It takes a lot to ruffle the feathers of the Adelaide City sweeper, though. The speed of Francis Awaritefe would come fairly close. with the high clearance. Certainly not in accordance with the way South Melbourne normally play the game. He was under pressure then, and he could be under pressure now because Vidmar's got the ball wide on the left. Reda cuts inside well, still Michael Reda, and that's a good tackle from Goutzioulis. And Trimboli goes down the line for Tasios. Slows things down though, finds Polak in an acre of space in the centre. This is great play from South Melbourne. And here's Ange Goutzioulis. No doubt about that free kick from Ivanovic. And Richard Lorenz about 1 yard away from that incident. Boutsianis over the ball. He'll fancy his chances with this wind behind him. In a similar position to where he scored midweek, though perhaps a bit more in the centre of the field. And there's the dip again, and that is another brilliant goal from Boutsianis. What a reputation this man is getting for being a free kick specialist. 2 marvellous strikes in 2 games. And there's the shot, curling it with the support of the wind, and not even Robbie Zabica could get a hand to it. One of the goals of the season already for Boutsianis. Tasios always seems to be a blue shirt in support of the ball when South Melbourne have possession. And Hasler now cuts in onto his right foot. He tries a shot, and a good shot too from Gary Hasler. And the body of Robert Zabica took the sting out of what was a fierce shot in the end from Gary Hasler. Off his right boot too, which is not his strongest side. And a late challenge by Carl Veart on Anastasiadis sees Veart's name in the book as well. And it really must have been late because Anastasiadis got a good foot on the ball to clear that ball down the field. And he is going to require some treatment. There's the clearance. And there you can see, with elbows raised, the challenge by Veart on the South Melbourne keeper. I think he's saying that he couldn't stop. And he did turn his body away in an effort to reduce the collision, but he really did clatter Anastasiadis there, though the big keeper's okay now. Well, certainly the South Melbourne supporters are happy with the proceedings today. The match isn't over yet by a long shot. And Lozanovski believes that his team can get back into it. Goutzioulis with the touch on Trimboli. Now a chance to bring Muscat into the game, though he switches out to his left. Hasler. Hassell with the layoff. Well read though by Goutzioulis. And equally well read by Ivanovic. Tasios back to Muscat. Oh, good play, Tasios. Again, he comes forward. And it was a good ball to Awaritefe as well, though I don't think Francis was expecting that. Hasler. Well, credit to the way South Melbourne can pass the ball between themselves, but they work so hard off the ball. And Mullen could find himself in trouble there because Muscat's gone down. It's another yellow card for an Adelaide City player, this time Joe Mullen. He's only been on the field around 10 minutes. Muscat went down. That was the challenge there from Muscat. The elbow in, and Mullen took a swing. He didn't connect, as you can see from the replay. But Richard Lorenz is having nothing of that. And it really is just a sign of the frustration that is happening within the Adelaide City ranks. It will be a long time since they have faced such a barrage of attacks from any opponent. Polak, Awaritefe outside him. Awaritefe wins the corner with that little shimmy to get past Tony Vidmar. The awkward approach of Awaritefe is sometimes a real handful for defenders. And on that occasion, Tony Vidmar could only concede the corner, which will be taken by Boutsianis, the in-swinger again. Driven in, and Zabica under pressure from Awaritefe. But he seems to gather those crosses effortlessly sometimes. Mullen, and they're causing problems. And Durakovic, of course, as sound as ever at the back, just helping out on the left-hand side of defence. Well, plenty of players in the centre for Adelaide City. Hassell's in there on the far post. They've got nothing to lose, so it is difficult for them to see with that sun coming in from there. But Melta fires a shot in, and not a bad effort either from Sergio Melta. It's the first real strike at goal from Adelaide City in the second half, and Anastasiadis really had it covered. Taken short too. Shillabeer cleared by Polak. And Awaritefe hold it up under pressure from Tobin. Crowd calling for the kick to be taken quickly, which it is by Wade. I've certainly enjoyed today's game, the South Melbourne supporters. It's been a tough, fierce encounter. And to cap everything off for the home side supporters, their side leads 2-0. It's twice within 4 days that the team from Adelaide has come to Middle Park and suffered defeat. And that certainly looks like the conclusion to this game, unless Adelaide City can produce something extraordinary in the remaining few minutes. Mori is certainly capable of that as he wrestles with the ball with Wade, and it's well played by the referee there to allow that play to go on. Both players were trying to gain an advantage over the other with their bodies. Hassell. Lozanovski. Good ball for Mullen. Good stand-up tackle from Muscat, though. And now a chance for Polak. Awaritefe. They just can't quite seem to keep the ball when they get it up to the forward line. They are a terrific team on the break, South Melbourne, as we saw earlier on. Now they have a chance to produce a more measured build-up with Durakovic down the left and Boutsianis as well. But just 2 men back there for Adelaide City, Alex Tobin and Milan Ivanovic. And that was enough to thwart that attack. Just a few moments remaining now. South Melbourne look to increase their lead. They have really enjoyed today's game, I'm sure. None more so than Boutsianis with that terrific free kick. There's the ball through, and almost Boutsianis on the end of it there. And Tony Vidmar still got some legs left at this stage of the game. Comes forward. Through ball for Mori. Durakovic back there. Muscat with time. That's a good ball for Muscat. He was looking for Trimboli. Bundled off the ball. Picked up by Polak. Wade getting involved now, and Awaritefe's onside. Boutsianis in the middle. And the ball was short for Polak. And the better option was at the back post with Boutsianis. And again, Alex Tobin, certainly a lone figure at stages in the second half in the heart of the Adelaide City defence, earning his wages with a good interception. This is good play from South Melbourne. Tasios has got Boutsianis in space. He can cut in on his left foot, which he does. Tries a shot at goal, and that's a great goal from Boutsianis. The icing on the cake for South Melbourne. And with the pressure that has been exerted on the Adelaide City defence in this second half, it is no surprise that South Melbourne scored their third. Boutsianis, really a man in form. 3 goals in the last 2 games. Took his man on. Tobin beaten for once. And smashed a shot past Zabica's near post for South Melbourne's third goal. And it came with a rush at the end for South Melbourne. But Boutsianis has been the outstanding player on the field this afternoon. A marvellous free kick just a few minutes into the second half. And he kept the second half off when he cut inside from the left-hand side to score his second goal with a low drive with the left foot, beating Robert Zabica on the near post. Paul Trimboli scored the other goal for South Melbourne in the first half, though again, even in that move, it was a shot from Boutsianis which was going in anyway, and Trimboli stood it home from just 1 yard out. South Melbourne again quick out of the blocks in the Coca-Cola Soccer League. Early season form really is their specialty, and they've shown it again this afternoon with a marvellous performance. The final score then at Middle Park, sounding out a warning to the rest of the league. South Melbourne 3, Adelaide City 0.